If you're a new home buyer, there can be a lot of unexpected costs if you're not prepared for it when it comes to maintenance and emergencies. Keep watching as I dive in deep to uncover everything you should know about home maintenance and unexpected repairs. Welcome to part 2 of the renting versus buying series. In this video, we're going to dive in deep about what to prepare for and the costs associated with general maintenance and the unexpected home maintenance that you could face, so you can better decide if renting or buying is the right choice for you. Welcome back. I want to thank you for watching and following. For those who don't know me, my name is Mike West, and I am a licensed realtor here in Southeast Michigan, and I love to help educate on the entire home buying and selling experience. Keep in mind that much of what I cover in my videos are most often geared towards what I see in my market area, and some things may change based on your location if you are outside of Michigan. I hope that you find value in these videos and use them as a general guide. In my previous videos, we went over the general costs that you could expect when it comes to securing your new home as both a rental or as a purchase option, so you can see exactly how and where your money goes over the course of a 2-year span. If you somehow missed that one, you can find it on my page to backtrack. Besides the out-of-pocket expenses to secure the home, it's important to also understand all of the homes will require some maintenance over time. This would include your expected general home maintenance that you'll do seasonally or yearly, the unexpected emergency repairs, and a topic that's not often talked about enough is the long-term capital expenditures. So let's start with the general home maintenance that pretty much all homeowners and renters alike will face. If you live in Southeast Michigan, you're familiar with the legitimate 4 seasons, even though it feels kind of like winter takes up about half the year. But with that being said, here are some things you should prepare for during each of the seasonal changes. If you have a forced air furnace, it's always a good idea to get it regularly serviced for proper function each year. A good time to do this would be in the early fall before you really need it to start kicking for heat, and later in the spring before you want to turn on your AC. Furnace filters need to be changed every 3 months in every home, as this helps to maintain the function and cleanliness of these machines. Typically, you can expect to pay about $100 to $300 annually for these items. An often overlooked item that I constantly see people skip out on is gutter cleaning. Whether you're reluctant to get up on the ladder and do it yourself, or simply put it off for one reason or another, this is an item that really should never be overlooked. Blocked gutters can cause some serious problems, including ice damming that can lift up your shingles or your drip edge, and can cause significant water damage to your roof, followed by leaks when the ice all thaws out in the spring. You can often hire a contractor to do this for a relatively small fee, anywhere between maybe $100 and $300, depending on the size of the home and the access to the gutters. Or if you have a good relationship with your neighbor, you could always ask them to give you a hand in exchange for a case of beer or a good meal. You may want to do this about twice a year, once in the fall before winter, and again in the spring as we start seeing some of the summer storms kicking in. Also, make sure that your downspouts are running far away from your foundation to help divert the water away. Yard maintenance is a constant, whether it's simply cutting and edging the grass, taking care of weeds, or maintaining your garden and shrubs, or even snow removal on your driveway and walkways. So it's good to have an idea of what you are capable of and planning on doing before you actually get into the home. Whether you are buying or renting, this is likely going to be your responsibility. Although in a few cases, I've seen some landlords or homeowners associations provide yard maintenance, in most that is a responsibility of the occupant. If you don't already have the tools, you may need to spend some cash to invest in this, which could cost anywhere from maybe $300 to $1,000 depending on what you need for equipment. Or you can pay a bi-weekly lawn service to do this for you. Depending on your location, this could be anywhere from maybe $35 to $150 per service. Other types of general maintenance may include things like yearly pest control, which could cost around $50 to $300 a year. Plumbing maintenance, including snaking drains, anywhere from another $100 to $350 per year. Filling any holes and gaps in the exterior of a home, repainting old peeling paint as needed. Again, approximately $50 to $100 a year, depending on who's doing it, especially cheaper if you do it yourself. Overall, I think it's a wise choice to stay up on all these items for any home that you're in. And most of the time, these aren't things that many landlords would cover. I'd recommend that you plan to spend a total of approximately maybe $2,000 to $2,500 a year for all of this. So consider putting away on average maybe between $160 and $210 a month, and that'll help cover these costs as they're needed. Staying on top of the general maintenance should help prevent many unwanted and unexpected items to happen, or at least give you a bit more of a heads up for some of the bigger issues that are to come. But unfortunately, with every home, even those that are newly built, there will always be something unexpected that comes up. Here's what some of that could look like. Storm damage. Michigan weather can be very unforgiving and can often change drastically from day to day. In some extreme cases, this can cause things like power outages, which could cost you the loss of your groceries or even your electronics. Flooding that could enter into your basement or crawl spaces. hail or wind damage to your roof, siding, or windows, fire damage from lightning, tree limbs falling onto your roof, your gutters, or in your garage, storm drain back up into your house, and in some worst case scenarios here, tornadoes that could completely destroy your home. It is conditions like this that I highly recommend that you have a nice long conversation to go over your homeowner's insurance policy to ensure that you have the proper coverage should anything like this happen. From a rental standpoint, the landlord should have coverage for this, and it may be worth a conversation with them to simply ask about their policy to make sure it is covered. But even so, their policy may cover the home, but it will not cover your personal property as a renter, which is why having your own renter's insurance should be important to you as well. Some other emergent repairs that you could prepare for are things such as sewer or sump pump backup, which may or may not be covered by your insurance policy. Burst pipes in your walls, ceiling, or at any fixtures. Major appliance failure or replacement, such as a refrigerator, washer, or dryer. Major mechanical failures or replacements including your water heater, your furnace, your air conditioner. Likely some other things I can't even think of here. Overall, it can be kind of hard to put a price on these items until they've happened. And I truly hope your insurance policies will help to cover them. However, filing a claim may also cost you your deductible at a minimum. So to stay on the safe side, I'd recommend keeping a nice cushion of at least 1% of your home's value in a savings account should something like this happen. Obviously, the more the better. Lastly, a topic that is often overlooked is that all homes have major ticket items that will deteriorate over time. We call these items capital expenditures. These things often have a very long lifespan before they need replacement, such as a 15 to 50 year life, but eventually they will need to be updated at the end of their lifespan. This includes the things like your roof, siding, windows, HVAC, plumbing, flooring, paint, cabinetry, bathroom fixtures. The list can go on a little further. The best way to budget for these items is to have a thorough understanding of where these items may be in their current life cycle. Typically, I recommend finding the average cost to replace these items, dividing it by the potential number of years left until their lifespan has ended. Then try to put that amount of money away each month into a savings for when that time comes to replace them. For many homeowners, you may also be able to use the equity built up in your home over that time frame to cover the costs with something like a HELOC or even a cash out refinance, which is why it's a good idea to constantly stay in touch with your real estate agent to have an accurate idea of how much equity you may have in your home. Obviously, this last portion is something that would pretty much only apply to those who own their own home versus those who rent. In the end, the general maintenance cost may be about the same between the two, and the long-term items will be more expensive to the landlord directly. However, many smart landlords include these costs into the rent that they charge already. A common formula used by many of these investors to determine the profitability of a rental unit is to take that market rent for the home, then subtract things like the monthly mortgage, which includes your PITI, the maintenance repair costs, the vacancy rate, the cost for capital expenditures, and any potential costs they may have for property management as well. The result of this formula leaves the investor or landlord with their profit. So as a renter, good to understand that you may already likely be paying for all of this and the owner's profit. So the real question may be more about not finding just a mortgage that is within your budget, but a home where the mortgage and these other expenses are also within your comfort range. Personally, I feel that many homeowners that I've talked to are ill-prepared for emergencies, so I truly hope that this video will provide you some insight to how to take care of your home. You're one of your biggest assets and your most basic human need. Overall, the story doesn't end here though. One of the absolute biggest differences between renting and owning lies with how much you spend or save on your personal taxes each year. Stay tuned to part 3, the final part of this Renting vs. Buyer series. If you have enjoyed this video, smash that like and subscribe to continue following. Check out my channel for more great content, and I'll see you in the next video.